Welcome to a new video. In this video I will show you what is slope and how to find slope of a line. If this is your first time here and if you want to support this channel, don't forget to subscribe, click on the bell to turn on the notifications to be aware of the upcoming videos. We have a lot to cover, so let's get started. We have a definition and it says slope of a line is the ratio of change in y over change in x direction. For example, let's say we have a graph here and we have a line and the line goes from A to B, okay? So there are 2 points. Point A, the points are x1 and y1. At the point B, the points are x2 and y2. And if you want to find the slope of that f of x line, then we just look at the change in y and change in x. Here, this point is y1 and that point is y2. The difference here is y2 minus y1. Here, this point is x2 and that point is x1. So here the change is x2 minus x1. So we can write that slope is y2 minus y1, which is the change in y direction, over x2 minus x1, which is the change in x direction. They call it rise over run. This is another way to memorize it actually, because rise is going up and run is going on the x-axis, so you can just memorize it in this way. So whenever you hear slope, you can easily remember that this is rise over run, guys. So you can think it in this way: change in y divided by change in x. And let's take a look at examples related to the subject. Okay, in this question, just find the slope law, and this is our f of x. We have 2 points. The point A is 1, 2, and B is 4, 4. And actually I already put it here, but if you remember the formula, what was it? Rise over run, changing in the y divided by changing in the x. Slope is called m, so m is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, guys. This is, the point A is x1 y1, the point B is x2 y2. So m is, as I put it here, okay, 4 minus 2, this is 4, and this is 2, divided by 4 minus 1, x2 minus x1. It's already here, so this is equal to, guys, 2 over 3. So the slope is 2 over 3 in this case. If you look at here, this is slope. Sometimes they call it tangent x as well. For example, let's say this is, instead of x, let's say this is alpha, okay? The angle is alpha. So tangent alpha is, this side is called opposite side and that side is called adjacent side. Opposite is the changing in y direction. Adjacent is the changing in the x direction. So sometimes they call it tangent alpha here because the angle is alpha. So again, you get the same thing, okay, 2 over 3. But this is something else that we're going to learn in trigonometry in the future. I'm planning to make a separate video, a long series about tangents anyway. So let's continue with the next question. We have another question and it says find the slope of y is equal to f of x, where the equation is negative 4x plus 2y is 10. In such questions, okay, just try to write down the equation in this form. Y is equal to some x, let's say mx, plus some constant, let's say b. Always try to write down the equation in this form, okay? So just send this negative 4x to the right, and it's going to be 2y, here it was negative 4x, and now it's going to be positive 4x, plus 10. I need to obtain just y, so divide both sides by 2. These are gone. So y is, just write down the right side as this, 4x divided by 2 plus 10 divided by 2. In this case, y is going to be, of course, if you simplify 4 by 2, then you're going to have 2x. Plus, if you divide 10 by 2, it's going to be 5. So once you find the equation in this form, then slope is always the coefficient of x. So slope is represented as m, and that is true, guys, in this form. In a linear equation, there might be 4 different cases for slope. In the first case, slope might be positive. In the second case, slope might be negative. And in the third case, slope may be 0. And in the fourth case, slope might be undefined. In the first case, the equation is going to look like this. Y is equal to, let's say, 2x plus 4. If this is positive, then we're going to have the line is going to go from down left to the upper right. but as soon as it passed y, turns to the left, okay, left side from the y, we can say, and then the slope becomes negative. If we have something like, let's say, y is equal to 4, such an equation, then this is going to look like number 3. This is the case that we have as in number 3. And if we have something x is equal to negative 3, then in this case we say that slope is undefined. If it is positive, then of course it's going to be on the right side like this. So as a result, there are 4 different cases for slope. If it is 0, then it's going to go to parallel to the x-axis, either from the above or to the downside of x-axis. Definitely it's going to be going to parallel to the x. If it is parallel to the y, and then in this case we say that slope is undefined. Okay, this question is our last question in this video, and it says find the slope of f of x which passes through the points. This is another type of question that you may encounter in this subject, and to solve such questions you need to remember the formula. So the slope, let's say m, is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, guys. Always in the first point, the first term is x1, and this one is y1, and the second point, x is x2, and the second number is y2. Always this is the case. So if this is the case, and that is equal to, guys, y2 is 4 minus y1 is 1 divided by x2 is 1 minus x1 is negative 3, guys. Negative 3. And in the next step, if you subtract 1 from 4, we're going to have 3, of course, divided by negative times negative is going to be positive. So 1 plus 3. And that is 3 over 4, guys. So the slope is 3 over 4. Before finishing this video, there are 2 things about slope that we need to keep in mind. Parallel lines have the same slope. For example, if you look at this graph at the bottom on the left, this line, let's say y1, and this line, it is already written here. y1 is parallel to the y2, and sometimes you may see this in this book in this way, y1 parallel to the y2. So you may encounter this expression. So in that case, these angles are equal to each other, okay, and those lines never intersect at any point. That means if they do not intersect any point, they goes to infinity as parallel, so there is no any intersection point. That means actually we will look at these situations in system of linear equations topic that I will make a separate video about that also, and we will see those situations over there. If those 2 lines are parallel to each other, then they do not intersect at any point, so there is no solution for such lines. As a result, parallel lines have the same slope, and this is number 1. And in number 2 it says multiplication of the slopes of perpendicular line is negative 1. In other words, let's say this is y1 and this is y2, and this is shown in the second case. Okay, if you look at slope here for y1, this is m, times for y2 this is negative 1 over m. So if you multiply those slopes, these are gone, so the result is negative 1, guys. So as a result, in perpendicular lines where this angle is 90 degree, okay, they intersect with the angle 90 degree, so those lines are perpendicular to each other. And again, we will see examples related to these cases in writing linear equations. Okay, there are some ways by just giving those information we can write the equation of the lines, and we will see how to write these equations in writing linear equations subject. That's it for this topic, guys. If you have any question, then you can just put them in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you in the upcoming videos.